polarizing the rest of the world. And we, in fact, have some video of people in the
Hey guys,
maybe the puppets and not the puppet masters, but the higher ups in multiple countries saying that the United States of America is projected to be sitting alone very soon. What do you think they really have in plan for us?
Okay, I can pause it. It's live though. This is full spectrum. Brad doesn't usually go live unless there's a major reason. So as soon as I realized he went live, I'm like, okay, you know what? I'm gonna do a live as well because obviously there's things going on, so that are important. And I just wanted to pass it on to you guys. Here we go. He's already been talking about there being one of the things that was declassified was they're working on an airborne illness that's kind of a cross between HIV and hepatitis and some other crap. Stay vigilant, you guys. Get your homestead started. Start working on foraging medicines. You can use apple cider vinegar for tinctures. Get your carrier oils, which I would highly recommend olive oil. Well, it's got to be an extra virgin olive oil, a good brand. You're going to want to research the brands. You can use, I forgot the other ones they recommended. But here we go. So live alert, it's on. Ships not transiting. Cuba takeover, U.S. military plans, buy food and water.
But Norway helps the US to monitor, to track the submarines, to share intelligence, and to give you early warning and to tell exactly what the Russians are doing. This is part of the US homeland defense provided by a NATO ally, Norway. And there are many other similar examples. So the US is safer with a strong NATO, and therefore expect that and believe that the US will continue to be committed to NATO.
So that's Norway discussing what's about to happen there. Thank you so much, Cambo Man, $20 super chat. Thank you for being our watchman on the wall. Defined as tasked with warning people of danger, praying for protection, and standing for truth. You know, I've made it my life's work. And a lot of people will go through their life and they'll say, okay, that was my life's work. For me, it's really information gathering for not just me and my family, but for everybody else, because that's how I operate. So if I'm already going to operate like this, then I'm going to gather information to make plans for my family. But I want you guys to be able to gather the information and make plans for your family too. And here's what I have to tell you. Please buy some land. And don't buy land that every rich person wants. Buy the land that somebody doesn't want. Buy the $3,000 to $5,000 land and start developing it. And I don't care if it's a half acre. I don't care if it's 1 acre. It's great. You're very well off if it's 5 acres. And let me tell you, in states around our country, 5 acres of land, your tax burden, which I believe to be absolutely outrageous. I don't think they should be taxed on land. But your tax burden is going to be like $60 to $100 a year. And I know if I can't make $100 a year, Kelly can bake bread and we can sell it to make $100 a year just to pay the taxes. So buy land that nobody wants, homestead it, and start. Because all the information that
get your homestead started
is that
period.
Not just assets, physical assets like land, but everything else out there is about to be taken away from everybody. 5 acres has AG tax exemption. Yeah, so in some states, like Alabama, once you're 65 years old, you don't pay any more property taxes. and you can get it into a trust, and you can make sure that you have a good buffer there between what else is going on. I thank you so much, Katie. I appreciate you guys for being here too, because at the end of the day, it's just me, my wife, and my oldest son. We of course do not burden my younger son because he's not an adult yet. So I don't want him to be burdened. I want him to know exactly what he needs to know to operate and to be safe, but not be burdened. And I'm sure that you guys know information is a burden, right? The first responders that show up to all the drunk driving fatalities, they carry that burden of information in their brain because they see action and reaction. The doctors who watch patients with emphysema smoke on their deathbed, they carry that burden of information. And that's what being prepared and being aware is about. You have a burden of information. You know what's going on, and it can weigh on you unless you do things to relieve that stress. And that's why you've got to do your chores, do your prep work, and have fun. And some nights like tonight, Friday, April 17th, we can have fun together, and we can do a little bit of our prep work. We can talk about some new plans, some things to do together. Thank you so much, mainly Taylor. Thank you and your family for all that you do for us to keep us informed about what's going on. Well, thank you so much for the support and the super chat. What you guys do for my family is 1000% appreciated. All right, let's listen to what this representative of Texas has to say, and listen to what Kennedy has to say in return.
Have you met with any of the 1.4 million people who...
So this is Democrat Representative Austin San Antonio,
who have lost their health insurance just this last year from dropping off of Obamacare? Have you sat down and talked to those folks about the fact they won't have their health insurance again?
So he asks, have you talked with the 1.4 million people that they just kicked off of tax-paid free health care? Listen to Kennedy.
Almost all illegal immigrants.
Oh, well, you know what? It sounds like you haven't met with...
Of course he hasn't met with them. They're almost 90% illegal immigrants, not in this country legally. No, they should not be paid for their health care by your tax money. They can get citizenship. I'd love them to. Please go join or become a citizen of the USA. Don't go to protests waving your flags of other countries that you'd rather represent, but not live in, because the living conditions there suck. And don't try to bring your suck over to the United States of America. Get off our tax burden, go back to your country, and apply to be a citizen here, in which you will begin to show appreciation for those things that you are granted. Even if you're a welfare baby, I don't care. You're a citizen of this country. You're going to appreciate this country. Do it the right way.
Folks like Portia in my district
Found 1.5 million illegal immigrants illegally collecting Medicaid.
Mr. Secretary, there are people like Portia in Buda, Texas, whose health insurance cost...
So this representative has one person that he points out among 1.4 million that are mostly illegals that got kicked off. So that's exactly what should be happening. Thank you so much, Justin R., for the super chat. Appreciate your support for my family and for what we do here on this channel.
Just got on, and President Trump just got on Air Force One for a quick trip to Arizona for an event that we'll see later on today. He didn't take any questions, but he just told CBS News. He basically explained why.
I'm going to turn this.
A deal.
Some about
United States, not just somebody from the United States, go into Iran with some Iranian officials to collect leftover uranium, what he calls the nuclear dust, and then bring it somewhere to the United States. That has been the key to all of this. The president earlier disputed a report in Axios that the U.S. might unfreeze $20 billion in Iranian money. And
I really hope that there's no financial gain that the Iranians can get for a deal. Thank you, Matt ZZ. I appreciate the super chat. Thank you so much. Somebody was talking about groups or getting in contact with people.
Really?
So I have two things to say about that. One is I was just following somebody on Facebook. They have reached out in my state and they have tried to get people to come stay on their 8 acres. And on their 8 acres, they showed pictures. They have a pretty nice little setup. It's a little bit frugal, very nice though. And they said they really can't get people to even come help them. And I asked, I said, hey, can I just ask you some questions about this? And I'm waiting on a reply right now. So somebody on the chat said, getting in contact, making a plan, talking more with other people. And that's exactly what we need to do. And last night I talked about how if you're going to do it, be wise about it. Don't be selfish, but make sure your interests are being met.
It's the end of currency, right? Because it's simply a rule system. And you can earn credits in the rule system, and the rule system can apply all sorts of carrots and sticks. So if you're very, very good, you could get more credits. If you're bad, you could have your credits taken away. So the big issue here, if you look at the world that we've grown up in, most of us have grown up, whether it's Canada, the United States, in a world where the bankers control monetary policy.
Now, she brings up an important topic, and that is the move towards tokenization and the move towards controlled financial mechanisms. Thank you, Ellen, for just becoming a YouTube member here. I appreciate you joining our membership family. So they're going to do exactly that. Now, Elon Musk in the last 24 hours came